Let's now explore a couple visual design ideas that'll impact how we structure our web pages. The first principle that we're going to explore is the Gestalt principle. To understand this principle, let's look at this image. Our initial impression is that this is a picture of an older man. But as we continue to look at the image, we can see that he is composed of other, more intricate pieces. We can see here there is a man on a horse, a sleeping woman, and a bridge that together give us the appearance of an old man. The Gestalt principle is the idea that we focus on the overall form and structure of an object before we pay attention to the details. Rather than see the individual parts, like the man on the horse and the woman, we see the larger form that is created from their interaction. This is relevant to web design because users almost always pay attention to the overall form and structure of a web page when deciding whether or not they like its layout. Here we have a sample web page. While there are text and images that provide us information about the web page itself, the larger form that we notice is this. Our eyes gravitate to the greater form of the web page more so than the individual components. If the form is agreeable to us, then it doesn't quite matter as much what the details are. When we develop our own web pages, we should first start by picking an overall form or layout, filling in the components from there. While the overall structure of a web page is arguably most important to developing a website, how we view the website should inform the structure that we end up choosing. In creating a website, we must consider how most people will interact with it. Since English is written from left to right, websites in English are often structured to reflect the way that users will naturally read them. To understand this, we will look at two different layouts, the F and Z layouts. The F layout is based on the notion that English-speaking users will start at the topmost left part of a web page and read from left to right. Users then return to position 1, go down to the next element, and then inspect it from left to right to position 4. This continues down the web page until there is no more information. When designing a web page, there should be careful consideration for where elements are placed on the page so that users interact with it. More important information should be placed on the left-hand side, while less important information can be placed on the right. This is why you may notice most sites place their ads on the right side of the page. They are less interested in you reading the ad than the content of their web page. The Z layout is very similar to the F layout, except it suggests that users are more likely to read across from position 2 to position 3 instead of down. When a user reads a page, they read from left to right, then down and across back to 3, and then to position 4. From a design standpoint, this layout suggests that if a user is moving across the page from position 2 to 3, then there is a space between elements that can be filled with photos, ads, or other filler content. When we start, we only have a blank page. It's from there that we decide the layout we'd like to use and impose a structure that fits that layout. Once the structure is in place, then we can make decisions about which elements should be ascribed more value than others, and how we plan on conveying that with visual hierarchy. When all is said and done, this careful consideration towards the structure, layout, and visual hierarchy all contribute to a well-designed web page. Now it's your turn to explore these topics further.